classmates, we are going to introduce a native South African professor. His name is Steven. He's going to talk about South Africa, many things you don't know about. He's going to answer some of our questions. This is a conference, maybe we can name it. So, that's it.
Yes. Now he present about the World Cup. Yes. Some question for all in general. So now see the professor.
Well, yes, I am from South Africa. I'm a native South African. I was born and bred, manufactured, designed, everything in South Africa. I really am thankful to Daniela, to your teacher Jorge, to the staff of the school for the opportunity to come and speak about my country. Everybody knows about South Africa now because of the World Cup, but sometimes people only know the superficial part of it, and they don't know a lot of realities, as the lady who introduced me said. Maybe today I can share a little bit of some of the true things, or maybe certain questions you have. I'd like to do that because I lived through the apartheid era. I play rugby. I was very impressed to find out that you have a Chilean here playing the favorite national sport of South Africa is rugby, and you have a Chilean here. Also, I'm very, very encouraged as a teacher in the British Institute. I'm encouraged whenever I go and I hear Chileans speaking my language, and they speak it well. You know, for me, it's like, wow, you know, somebody's doing something right in this country. Okay? The issue of language is difficult, and I want to encourage you. To be able to speak language, you need to make mistakes. Mistakes are part of learning. So if you make a mistake, don't get embarrassed and say, I'm hopeless, I'm never going to speak the language, let me stop now. No. I teach a lot of the advanced classes, I teach teams in the Institute, and I play a lot with them when I teach, because sometimes you need to just forget about, you know, being tight, and you need to enjoy the language. Okay, so that's my encouragement as part of the British Institute. They're doing a major effort to help people to understand language properly. And if you can speak like this, welcome to my country. Okay? All right. So the quiz I'd like to leave for later. I have some questions on South Africa, on the World Cup and things, and we're gonna see if we can find a winner, and we have a prize. Yeah, Danny? We have a prize for the one who answers all the questions correctly. So prepare yourselves. What I want to do is first introduce South Africa. Okay? This is a country that was dominated by many, many different nations. The Dutch people came in 1642 with the Dutch East India Company, and they made it a colony. Then we had the French Huguenots that came in at a certain period, not very long, for about 27 years. We also had the Germans that had come in via Namibia and had dominated us. And lastly, we had the British, of course, that dominated as an outside force. And since 1961, which was the year in which I was born, the British left and handed over South Africa to the people of South Africa. But sadly, they didn't hand it over to a majority population. The people that took responsibility for governing the country were only 13%. And they were known as the Boers, or the Afrikaners, that originally came from Holland. I'm also, my father is originally from Holland. My surname is Teunissen. So I have a bit of that history connected to my real South African roots. But my father was born in Holland and then married a South African woman, and we were all born in South Africa. Okay? So that's the history of our domination. Okay, this in a sense is the whole of South Africa. Often people confuse South Africa, they say, oh, but that's Africa. And they say to me, I know a guy from Nigeria, can you give him a message? South Africa's here, and then you have 68 different countries in Africa. Africa's the continent. So I don't know anybody in Nigeria. Okay, it's another country. But this is South Africa, and it's a very rich country. Some of the wealth, the money, or the riches that we have comes from diamonds, which firstly we got in the Namibia area. Namibia we've now given back to the Germans, and it's no longer part of South Africa. That's on the west coast of Africa, okay? So this whole section here will be Namibia, all right? That's not part of South Africa. This part inside here, literally, all of this is South Africa. So diamonds and gold, all right? And then we have tourism and a whole lot of other fruit exports, etc., etc. We have lapis lazuli as well. The only other country besides Kazakhstan, Chile, and South Africa have lapis lazuli in the world. So we share something in common as well. Besides the people being nice and friendly and crazy, like Chileans and South Africans, they're very, very similar. Because, I mean, Chile, Santiago would be, somewhere if you go across, it's almost on the same latitude. South Africa, the bottom here, Chile would be sort of over here, Santiago would be there. Almost very, very similar. I come from here, Cape Town. Okay, we call that the mother city, okay, because it's one of the oldest cities. Then we have Durban, which is the coast city. Johannesburg is another capital. South Africa is very strange. I think it's the only country in the world that has got 11 official languages. Right? No other country in the world has got that. They have dialects and everything. I will show you later. It's got 3 capital cities recognized. Cape Town, Johannesburg, and Pretoria. We have a legislative capital, an administrative capital, and a judicial capital. So like in Chile, 6 months of the year you have parliament in Cape Town, and 6 months of the year it's in Pretoria. You will see the union buildings later in Pretoria. So this in a sense is the whole typography of South Africa, a very, very interesting country. Next I want to show you our new flag. Alright? The old flag was a reminder of the domination of the Dutch people. So it had lots of different flags, orange, almost a lot like Holland. But the new flag was designed to represent all of the people equally. Lots of colors, more than most flags. It's got 6 colors, and these colors all mean something, because it's now known as the Rainbow Nation. Okay? South Africa is called the Rainbow Nation, representing all the different colors. So, just quickly, the colors. The red speaks for the blood that was shed, which you have the same in the flag in Chile. The green speaks about new life, okay? Birth and new life. The blue speaks about the sky, which is now free and open to all. White speaks about the purity of the oceans and the mountains and all of those things. The black speaks about the dark years of South Africa under apartheid. Okay? When the blacks were trapped on the ground and there was just no hope, no light for them. And then the gold obviously speaks about the riches of South Africa, and also it speaks about that we can one day aspire to heaven where everything will be perfect. This flag was designed by an evangelical pastor in South Africa with the idea that one day South Africa would be free. Alright? So this flag has very, very important significance. It also has this kind of thing where everyone coming from one goes into many different paths. Or coming from different paths, everyone's going in the same direction. No matter which way you look at it, it's got representation from both sides. Okay?